the construction is near completion. In the same area, there are our veterans, the family of late Nkoko William, the family of Ntare and Mbigiti James. We've made some facelift on the family houses. In Nibunya West constituency, we found the community was struggling with a school which was in a church premise, but they had bought land, and we have started the seed classroom block there, Bukatuwe Secondary School. In Ibunya South constituency, at Bwonda landing site, we found the community was encroaching on the toilet facilities of a primary school with a population of 2,000 students. So we have separated them with a sanitary facility, and it's, I think, complete now. Maga Primary, we also do some things on our side. We've worked on our schools for something there. Nibugweri, who are our hosts, the national events, there is a classroom block at Bumozi Church of Uganda Primary School. There is at Naruswa Primary School, you can see students were sharing with the teachers. We have separated them. Still in that area, we've reached out to the family of our late historical for some home renovation. In Kariro district, at Jaraja Primary School, now Ikoke Town Council, we've put up a 2-classroom block. In Ibusiki, we've put a 2-classroom block at Nakawunzo Primary School. There is St. Francis Nabitula, a 2-classroom block. In Ibuyende, we've set up a modern outpatient department block. In Kamuli municipality, we've put up again a market stores for women and youth. And our engineers are telling us that the municipality has chosen that site to make it now a modern central market. Bulondo Primary School, we've given them 2-classroom block. In Buzaya, Buluya, Kauma Muslim Primary School, a 2-classroom block, and it's almost complete. In Iganga, there is a school, an old school, with a very huge population. They've received an additional 2-classroom block. At Namungarwe Town Council, the youth and women have been given some 20 stores market, which is almost, I think they have already started using it because they were selling on the roadside. We've also gone to our own, the burial ground of our own Major General, late Major General Samuel Nanyumba. In Luka, Nabikui Primary School has received a 2-classroom block. In Muwangi Primary School, a 2-classroom block. This is Jinja District now. Then Lumuli Primary School, we've given some sanitary provision, the toilet block. Warukuba, in Jinja City, the engineers have put up a good perimeter wall around a maternity ward which was almost on the roadside. now our mothers can produce without being seen by passers. However, Right Honorable Prime Minister, they still have the bigger part of the hospital. Their land is being encroached on. So if they can add on what we have done, that hospital, being a health center for, can be secured. There is some work at Mpumu, the Methodist Community School. They received a modern toilet facility. And then Chomia Primary School, a dormitory. This is a school for persons with disability. We've put up a dormitory for 100 students. All these engineers' works are to be completed and handed over to the beneficiaries on a ceremony on 5th Feb, presided over by some of you, the political leaders. The other major activity will be the medical outreach activities, and the details of that program is tabulated, and the district leaders are encouraged to go with this program to popularize it so that our people can benefit. It's a long and elaborate program of our doctors. The teams have been set up, and they are going to be in the area starting 26th, but the work will commence on 27th after the regional launch. Right Honorable Prime Minister, general mobilization, which is political work and civil military cooperation activities, will include planting and distribution of trees, cleaning of urban centers, distribution of some reflector jackets to our young people, and also working with corporate entities, some of them who are represented here and who have generously supported our effort. Our chief guest, there will be an ideological orientation seminar for our youth leaders and women leaders from all districts of Soga sub-region, which will be hosted at Wanyange Girls Secondary School from the 30th of January to 5th Feb, and some of you have been invited to interact with these leaders. Also, there will be civil military cooperation and political mobilization sessions with all strata of leaders in Busoga sub-region during this Defense Forces Week. The sessions will enable UPDF to foster harmony and understanding between itself and the public. The interaction will enable UPDF commanders to share experience with the population in an effort to identify issues that affect our general well-being. In order to appreciate the historic contribution from NASA to the struggle for peace and security of Uganda, the ministry leadership during this launch has put on a program a brief tribute to one of the many revolutionary leaders, especially from the Busoga area, the late Right Honorable Chirunda Chivejinja, to appreciate his contribution and that of his comrades to the struggle that has led to the socio-economic transformation of Uganda, and this will be presented by none other than our own, the Right Honorable Chintu Musoke, Prime Minister Emeritus. I believe we are in for real fountain of wisdom from a person who knows that comrade. In the general mobilization, our UPDF spouses desk will be involved in TAREHE SITA activities with grand exhibitions, and will also launch workshops for our wives in Jinja Cantonment and Magamaga Cantonment. Our Right Honorable Prime Minister and our invited guests, especially from the region, we shall have vibrant cultural and sports activities during the TAREHE SITA Defense Forces Week. The ministry and the UPDF will distribute some scholastic materials, some selected, especially primary schools in the region. We want to organize games and sports between ourselves and the young people, especially in all the districts. And we want also to participate in cultural galas with the civilian cultural groups together with our groups. And there is an elaborate program. Every district will have a match between a UPDF team and any selected team from the districts. There is a whole program which, in the interest of time, will be given to the district leaders for purposes of mobilization. Our chief guest, let me give a highlight of the main events of the week before I conclude. As you see today, we are honored that you will launch the activities at a national level. On Saturday 27th, we shall now launch the activities in the region. And that regional launch will be at Buyende District Headquarters, and the invited guest is the first Deputy Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Mama Rebecca Aritwara Kadaga, who will officiate the launch, and will be accompanied by our own Lieutenant General Peter Rweru, our Deputy CDF, and other generals, Major General Igumba, Brigadier General Nyarwa, and Brigadier General Charles Byanyima. Simultaneously, on 28th January, we shall have district launches, and for purposes of information, I wish to highlight that in Mayuge, we've invited and we have had confirmation from the Right Honorable Lukia Nakadama, who will be accompanied by the CPC, Brigadier Mwanje Sechilanda, and other senior officers. In Luka, we've invited Honorable Mire Babidi Babalanda, Minister for Presidency, and he will be accompanied by Major General Francis Okero, Brigadier Chigozi, and other senior officers. In Iganga, we have invited Honorable Major Retired Chakulaga Fred Wino, and will be accompanied by Major General George Igumba and Brigadier Bakahumra and other senior officers. In Namutumba is Honorable Namuganza, who will be accompanied by Major General Sam Kavuma and Brigadier General Retired Jackson Mulondo and other senior officers. In Bujiri, we've invited Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, the Minister for General Duties Office of the Prime Minister, and will be accompanied by Lieutenant General Charles Otema, Brigadier General Jack Bakasumba, and Major General Jack Bakasumba, I beg your pardon, and other senior officers. In Jinja City, Honorable Vincent Bamulangaki Sempija will preside over the district launch and will be in the company of Lieutenant General Erweru, Brigadier General Ruhesi, Brigadier John Patrick Otongo, and other senior officers. In Bugweri, we expect there Honorable Huda Absom Oreru, who will be accompanied by Lieutenant General Kayanja, Brigadier General Chris Ogwar, Brigadier Patrick Mwesije, and other senior officers. In Kariro, it will be Honorable Gume Frederick Ngobi, and will be accompanied by Lieutenant General James Mujira, Brigadier Goni, Brigadier Felix Kuleije, and other senior officers. In Jinja District, Honorable Judith Nabakova has been invited, will be accompanied by Lieutenant General Charles Okidi, Brigadier General Semwanga, and other senior officers. And in Namayingo, the Honorable Minister for Kampala Capital City, Honorable Minsa Kabanda, will be accompanied by Major General Lake Kidega, Brigadier General Rwashande, and other senior officers. In Kamuli shall have Honorable Jacob Oboth, and will be accompanied by Major General Francis Takirwa and Brigadier General Mike Kisame and other senior officers. There is a program also for the handover ceremonies, and the following political leaders have gracefully agreed to participate. Honorable Colonel Retired Tom Butime will hand over the projects in Jinja District. In Mayuge, Honorable Sempija Vincent Bamulanga Kis will be handing over the projects, but also will reach out to the communities around the lake. In Namutumba, Honorable Jacob Both, and in Bujiri, Honorable Huda Absoro Moreru. In Bugweri, Honorable General David Muhozi, Minister of State of Internal Affairs. In Kariro, Honorable General Abubakar J.J. Odong. In Buyende, Honorable Colonel Retired Bright Ruamirama, Minister of State for Agriculture and Animal Industry. And in Kamuli, Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamara, Minister of Works and Transport. In Luka, Honorable Minsa Kabanda, Minister of Kampala Capital City. And Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba will preside over the functions in Jinja City. And Honorable Joyce Moriko, Minister of State for Primary Education, will be in Iganga. And Honorable Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng Ochero in Namayingo District. I want to end by just for purposes of the political leaders to show you a team that is going to be coordinating us and yourselves, and that team is sitting in that corner. There is Kano Deo Karikona will be in Bugweri, and those of Bugweri, you can get his contact. He will be having first-hand information and will be programming with the district officials. In Mayuge, we have Lieutenant Colonel Bamutaze, David Bamutaze. In Namayingo, we have Colonel Anatoli Nuwajira. In Jinja City, we have Colonel Justus Rukundo. In Luka, we have Lieutenant Colonel Arthur Mutebi. In Namutumba, we have Colonel Ibrahim Kedi. In Iganga, we have Colonel Dr. Davis Ankunda. In Buyende, we have Lieutenant Colonel Sam Ntungura. In Kamuli, we have Colonel Gilbert Owamagezi. In Jinja District, we have Colonel Lydia Nandudu. In Bujiri, we have Lieutenant Colonel Robert Semaganda. In Kariro, we have Colonel Sadra Katono. And district leaders training team at Wanyange will be led by Lieutenant Colonel Benson Asaba. In conclusion, the celebrations of TAREHE SITA 2024 is a unique opportunity for the UPDF to reflect on the long journey and work towards renewing and strengthening our relationship with the people throughout the country. It is hoped that the choice of Busoga sub-region will meet the objectives for which the strategic leadership set out. I wish you successful launch. I wish to submit, and I beg to proceed.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Emeritus, Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Oh, there is Deputy Prime Minister. My apologies. And then the Minister of Defense and the Ministers of State for Defense, General Duties and Veteran Affairs, and other Ministers of State who are here. I can see my former Minister, Bright Ramirama, now in agriculture. I can see Honorable Kabanda for Kampala, capital city. The general officers who are present here, all our invited guests, the honorable members of parliament, the LC5 chairpersons, the RDCs, and I can also see my chairman for Defense and Internal Affairs. If I don't mention him, we shall not get money next time. So I must mention him. First of all, I want to welcome all of you, distinguished guests, here today at the ministry headquarters for the national launch of the 43rd birthday with our people to commemorate the founding of a new Uganda and a new force through the patriotic sacrifices of FRONASA, NRA, and UPDF. It is therefore an important annual event for UPDF and the nation at large. Earlier on, our celebrations used to take place in the barracks until we became overwhelmed by the big numbers that used to follow us. And then we decided from the 24th anniversary to celebrate outside the barracks in a rotational manner according to regions. The commemorations became regionalized, and so this year we are heading to Busoga in the spirit that every first week of the month of February we have a Defense Forces Week set aside so that we can thank the people because they are the backbone of our security. We also go out there to express our solidarity with the people, and we also go out there to symbolically give back to the population through these quick impact activities that the CPC mentioned here. And all this is to reaffirm the strategic link between us and the population. Because like Mao Zedong said, the population is the sea, and for the army we are the fish. If the population doesn't support us, we will cease to exist, because it will be like the sea has dried and the fish cannot survive. So we go out there back to you to do accountability. And as I said, we have been doing this according to the regions. If I can remind you about the recent regions we have been to, 2021 we were in Greater Masaka and Kampala. 2022 we were in Greater Elgon sub-region, and last year we were in Greater Mbarara. Why did we choose Busoga this time around? In consultation with the President of the Republic of Uganda and our Commander-in-Chief, we chose Busoga region, which, as you have heard, is made of 11 districts and one city, Jinja City. And so this is the region that will host the Defense Forces Week activities, although my minister was saying that maybe we change the name from months activities, because we have already started some of these activities. And we did this to particularly accomplish a few things. One is to continue retracing the Fronasa circuit as a continuation of the 2022 Greater Elgon sub-region and the 2023 Greater Greater Mbarara sub-region catena of celebrations. Number two, in Busoga we want to recognize the earlier efforts in the fight against Idi Amin on the Mayuge front, where the Deputy Prime Minister comes from. She knows very well the Chiterera Forest Camp, Busesa, Kaluba, and Musitanangoma Road Junction, memories of 1972. And this is also consistent with the retracing the Fronasa circuit. 3, we commemorate the bloody clobbering that was received by the Lakwena group in that sub-region, bringing an end to her mystic cultic outlaws. Having entered the sub-region from Tororo, where my honorable here comes from, through Bulugui, on the morning of 16th October 1987, and got infatuated with Magamaga, the Nile Bridge, and Kampala, the enemy met lethal combination of local volunteers of Busoga and our forces. And because of this combined effort between the locals and ourselves, Lakwena never recovered from the pitched battles of Busede, Luka, Namasiga, Ukaseme, and Nabugala Gala. And from the knock out in Namutumba and Kiragala on the Saturday of 24th October 1987. That's why she ran to Kenya. The other reason we are celebrating in Busoga is to enable the UPDF closely conduct civil military activities that may address the underlying factors making this region vulnerable to activities of extremist groups such as ADF, who continue to recruit from the region. The CPC already enumerated the CIMIC activities that we shall be holding in that place, but also we need to know that Busoga region is still the epicenter of ADF recruitment. And so we want to interact with the population, to interact with them on this issue. Obviously, you know that Busoga region is also demographically significant and has propensity to continue building on previous political performance, to turn a critical mass towards the values of patriotism, and also shun the politics of identity and chauvinism. UPDF's TAREHE SITA activities, therefore, and the quick impact projects could be one way of continuously winning the people's hearts and minds. The event will also illuminate wealth creation efforts such as wetland utilization. I am sure General Kavumai is happy because I've mentioned wealth creation. Parish development model, the Myoga programs, and general ideological and political work, especially among the youth and women, as you heard the CPC mention. All these activities will be running and guided by the theme celebrating the people's struggle for unity, security, and peace for socio-economic transformation. The people, because like I told you, nothing done outside the interests of Ugandans can endure any test, because they are our strategic partners. Struggle for unity, because united, they say, we stand. And the best way to predict the future is to create it with the population. Aiming at security and peace, because human security is attracted by peace and security, and wealth and economic well-being abhors where there is security. Pesa naogopa sehemu kuna fujo, sehemu kuna utulivu, pesa natulia pia. And all these ones for socio-economic transformation, because a poverty-stricken population is highly vulnerable to manipulators and predators. In line with the theme, it's worth noting that some areas like Mayuge, where the youthful then President Yoweri Museveni mobilized the people, is where President Museveni mobilized the people to resist fascism. The efforts and sacrifices of the people to liberate Uganda were also notable in places such as Cheterera Forest Camp, Busesa, and Kaluba, which stand out as a reminder of the people's struggle. CPC has already mentioned how we will go about these activities, guided by that theme, which highlights very strong linkage between today's successes and the past sacrifices of the leaders. Like you had the Prime Minister Emeritus mentioning, right, Honorable Kivejinja, and others whose values and traditions we all need to emulate. This is vital in order to sustain the current focus and effort towards the total liberation of Ugandans from peasantry to a socially and economically transformed society. Our Defense Forces Week activities have already been mentioned by the Chief Political Commissar, and I don't need to repeat them. But we think that these will give us shared awareness between the population and ourselves to focus all our efforts and activities to core principle that the army must be pro-people and disciplined, the very principle that made Fronasa fighters, freedom fighters, and later on NR and the UPDF to succeed. This way, the people became our strategic partners, have continued to be, and they will remain so. We therefore want to salute all those who have paid the ultimate price for the cause and the freedom we now enjoy as we gather here. We all know that Uganda has sailed through and recovered from the most violent and turbulent storms in our history. In Busoga, you have we need to particularly remember the late James Mbigiti, the late Rashid Kasada, and the late James Ngoko, who worked with the president to mobilize against the fascism at that time. We therefore want to salute those people because they sacrificed and died for the right cause. But suffice to say, we have fully achieved our mission to pacify the country and laid a very firm foundation to steer the economy for socio-economic transformation. And therefore, when you heard that there are corporate agencies here, we urge you to use this environment to grow bigger so that you can contribute to the socio-economic transformation of the Ugandans. Honorable Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, in general terms, the security of the person, property, and borders have been fully restored, and the UPDF continues now to plan more for operations other than war to ensure not just physical security, but also total human security. There are some things we cannot fire with the bullets, like the locusts, like environmental degradation, like food security. We can't fire at hunger. And that's why we are now engaged in tree planting so that we can avert environmental insecurity. We are now engaged in growing food. I think now this, the Honorable Minister will probably now mention it more than me. But I think we have cultivated about 4,000 acres of beans, I mean maize, mainly maize, soya bean, and sorghum, so that we can start feeding ourselves. UPDF has also supported democracy to deepen the extent that anybody can dream leading this country, like some people you know, some comedians you know. But nobody should dream about destabilizing it. UPDF, because now we have an unmatched record of performance that is guided by a clear vision and leadership of securing the future of this country. Therefore, to accelerate Uganda's socio-economic transformation, I want to assure Ugandans that the UPDF remains steadfast in contributing to Uganda's journey to modernity while contributing to regional stability, because we cannot be an enclave of peace when we are surrounded by a sea of insecurity or instability. So, honorable members of parliament who are here, and you keep on asking questions, what are you doing in Congo? What are you doing when we go to Somalia? No, it's because even if we are very secure here and we are surrounded by insecurity, this one will not last. So we must take the war to them before they bring it here. So, Honorable Chair, when the PS brings the, what do you call it? Budget what? Framework paper. Please, don't throw it through the window. It's because of these obligations that nobody else can do except us. And for us to do them, we require to feel facilitated. Lastly, Honorable, Right Honorable Prime Minister and our Chief Guest, allow me to thank our President and our Commander-in-Chief for his founding father's role, stewardship, and building a credible and formidable force from scratch. I also want to thank the people of Uganda for the continued support they have untiringly rendered to the UPDF throughout its various stages of development. And obviously, we also thank ourselves for having a revolutionary spirit of achieving with little where others had failed. If we don't thank us, we shall thank ourselves, like the lizard that fell from an iroko tree. Because it fell from about 150 feet, and it looked around, there was nobody to thank it, so it thanked itself. That's why you see it nodding all the time. That is the reason. If there is nobody to thank ourselves, then we thank ourselves. Honorable, Right Honorable Prime Minister, I wish you a happy 43rd anniversary celebrations of TAREHE SITA, and I want to invite
colonial imperialist elements. The political class then normalized the above tendencies, sinking our state, Uganda, into deeper political turmoil and instability. Of course, we didn't, the details in the paper presented by His Right Honorable Chintu Musoke, he would have, I think when we get it, he has elaborated well on these tendencies and of course the turmoil that they produced to our country. So, Right Honorable Prime Minister, like the biblical verses, it is always prudent to remind ourselves of this painful history from which we have emerged as a country. Although there are still some bad seeds in our politics that have not totally decomposed, Uganda now, everyone sees that stands tall as a beacon of hope, prosperity, and above all, as a vanguard of regional and continental stability. Right Honorable, a few days back, I was asking some of the people I was addressing about the refugees that are coming that are flowing in, coming to our country. I think now we have about 1.5 million refugees. 1.6, the Prime Minister has corrected us. These are people, these are human beings. And you know, human beings are wise. They know the good, they know the bad. Why do they choose from all these countries, why do they choose to come to Uganda? Certainly, they see this is where there is hope and there is peace. So that is why people are flowing in. And because of our good policies, which I would mention, the policies spearheaded by our Commander-in-Chief, they are Africans. We allow them in and they share the little that we have. I wish to point out that the socio-economic transformation of Uganda has not just appeared in a vacuum. Some people have been suggesting that the state of Uganda is now a consequence of time and space, as if to disregard the role played by patriotic forces led by His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, our President and Commander-in-Chief. In my language, if I have to get people to understand what I'm saying, some people say, nomula yandi because mwepanga mwepansi nomula yandi because edembele mugamba nomula yandi lirese. That's what people say. They say timutawana na bino. But you can ask yourselves, if everybody could do it, even that time, I'm not as old as Right Honorable Chetu Musoko, and I didn't put up my hand when he asked for the 88 and above. But at least I saw a few things going on. Even then, we had very wise people here. We had leaders of reputation. But the economy collapsed. And we went into not even zero, but into negative. We were here. So people should not say that wise people have just been born. People were here. Others had PhDs. Others were big people, but things went that way. So it is not easy to manage a country, especially third world country, especially a landlocked country like ours, colonially distorted. So it's not very easy to revamp it from economic ditches. And if you can, since now it's an era of internet, look at the others. Count the countries which, with much or even enormous resources, much more than we have in Uganda. But look at them. Why are they failed states? Why are they calling upon? Every day they are coming to Entebbe to look for the President Museveni to help. I will not mention them, but why? So don't think it is very easy, as people may take it. And that is why we are here to celebrate the revolutionaries led by President Museveni for having really changed our society into an enviable state. So the principles of our leader and Commander-in-Chief are therefore the best. They have made us achieve what we have achieved. And these principles, Right Honorable Prime Minister, include patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and this one, how do we get socio-economic transformation? Through, for example, through allowing the private sector to play their role, or partnering with the private sector, and of course, democracy. In line with the tradition of rotating the main celebration of the annual event to various sub-regions of Uganda, celebrating TAREHE SITA in the Busoga sub-region is intended to continue the Foronasa circuit as well, and retrace historical footprints of the founders of the Ugandan revolution, as well as appreciate the contribution of the people of Busoga sub-region in our liberation struggle. As indicated during this particular TAREHE SITA, monumental projects have been constructed in various parts of Usoga region as elaborated by General Masiko, and we are all doing this not because we have a big budget, but the little that is well known by the Defense Committee, which I'm going to introduce here, is we give back in appreciation to our communities, to the Ugandans who are supporting our UPDF and who are the fathers and the mothers of our soldiers. So, Right Honorable Prime Minister, we are hopeful that in the near future, this revolutionary heritage shall be exhibited and preserved in our National Military Museum, which we intend to construct at Katonga, so that the current and the future generations can fully understand and appreciate the socio-economic and the political trajectory of our country. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we invited you because we love you, certainly. For us, this is a very disciplined force, subordinate to the civilian authority. And once the commander-in-chief says, this is your boss, and he calls him Majegere, so we say, why? Majegere tumuite tumuone. Bwototeka ku Majegere okoze eki oba oli ku kizibu. But we thank you very much for being a very hard-working leader. Thank you very much. We invited the private sector, those that have not been mentioned, first of all, to thank them for being wise, because they captured the opportunity, the good environment that has been created by NRM. They captured it and they became rich. They worked, they put in their effort, but some people, while others were saying, the private sector was saying, government has come up with good policies, the policies of liberalization, the policies of saying that government, when the president said, government, get off trade, you are not supposed to trade, government should not trade, it should just create a conducive environment for the private sector. So these people were wise and they captured the whatever. At one time I was a DA, an assistant, but at that time I was an assistant DA, and the president instructed all these administrators to give passports to all Ugandans. In fact, he was saying, you look for Ugandans, you look for them. We used to call them when we went to address people on rallies. You come and get passports, because the president knew that we had succeeded a state that did not allow people to get out of this country. Having a passport was illegal, and you could even die. Even finding you with a dollar in your pocket, that was just a license for you to go to your head to get off in a Namamve there. So the president said, UDAs, get these people, Ugandans. They have been locked here. Allow them to get out. And they were used to beg people to come and get passports. So some of these people saw the chance. We also thank them for being part of our taxpayers, for them and also we thank them for becoming rich. Many of them are rich women and men. Please clap for them. Because it is NRM's principle that, especially, you know what our leader says, that every Ugandan should become rich. Sometimes we have heard these slogans, prosperity for all. They are not for nothing. But also want to remind ourselves, when the private sector people are here, that it was not, if it was not for this revolution brought in by the gallant fighters of FRONASA, NRA, UPDF revolutionaries, all of this that we see would not be there. So it is something that we should also shouldn't forget. Yes, you can say, no, for me it has been my effort. Nze nekoledde byange, government ina kyali empadde. But if we continued, last time, Right Honorable, I went to one of the countries in Africa here with my technical team, and when we were coming back, because the minister goes through a different gate, and the other technical people go through the other Kayola side, all their dollars were confiscated. Because in that country, it is just recently, because in that country, you are not allowed to have dollars. Dollars are a preserve of government. But when here it is free, people think it is kawaida, everybody could have done it. No way. These are wise policies from the wise leader, which we should not forget. So the private sector are good innovators. They have put in all efforts, but the good policies of government, which allows the private sector to do their work without interference, is also something that we should not forget. And it was really brought in by the revolutionaries whom we are celebrating for in this TAREHE SITA season. So, Right Honorable, I want to, if you allow me, there are people here who have really, before you come, there are people whom you should know that they are around. The side of defense, and before I reach there, allow me to introduce Right Honorable Rukia Nakadama, the third Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, and the Minister with that portfolio. Somebody should when we are when we are introducing Right Honorable Nakadama, I think the clap should be stronger. Chijesha, huh? We have Honorable Mr. Kabanda, Minister for Kampala. We have Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, Minister for General Duties and also attached to the office of the Prime Minister. We have Honorable Kano Bright Rwamirama, Minister of State for Animal Industry. Honorable Chagulaga Fred Bwino, now the clapping will end with the Honorable Chagulaga Fred Bwino. Honorable, now these are part of the host. Can I request them to stand beside me when I introduce them? Honorable Jacob Maxson, both Minister of State for Defense, in charge of defense. And Honorable Huda Absom Oleru, Minister of State for Defense, in charge of veteran affairs. But she's also our boss in a way. She's a second member. Please sit down. we have the chairman, whom I really wanted to request to come and stand here and mention your names yourself. This Honorable Wilson Kajwenge, please come and people. So when you hear that you have been summoned, many times there is someone in me. We are summoned to Parliament. If it's not the Speaker, come on.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, I can confirm that even after here we shall summon him. This time, however, to thank him and the mighty UPDF for their excellent work they are doing back to the community. My name is Wilson Kajwenge. I'm a member of Parliament representing Nyabushozi constituency in Chiruhura district and chairperson Defense and Internal Affairs Committee. I have a team of colleagues who constitute that mighty committee. Kindly stand up for recognition. Thank you.
The team is comprised of Honorable Okeyo Peter, Honorable Norman Ochero, Honorable Sauda Kauma, Honorable Sebikali Yoweri, and Honorable Ayeku Patrick. We have Honorable Idi Sabidie, this is Busoga Winya, Honorable Tak Agnes, Honorable Uma Militon, Vice, must be the Vice, Honorable Raquel Magawola. Oh, Richo, you know, Obangaina, you know. Honorable Akamba Paul, Honorable Luke Nancy Ochobe, Inensiko, Honorable Chisa Stephen, Honorable Nathan Igeme, Honorable Okeyo Peter, Honorable Mbayo, former minister. I was going to introduce her as former minister. Mbayo Esther, and the former minister for presidency. Honorable Bajire Agre, Honorable Bajire also former minister of state for agriculture and industry and fisheries. Now, Honorable Nakato, Annette, I didn't, there must be something. Why did somebody skip? They are still there? Okay, let me continue. Honorable Nakato, Annette, Honorable Kubeketeria James, veteran. Honorable Waliom Moses, Honorable Margaret Makoha, Honorable Muzale Martin, Honorable Zijane David Livingstone, Honorable Katali Loy, Honorable Kauma Sauda, Honorable Naigaga Mariam, Honorable Naigaga is here. It looks like I want to see her properly. Honorable Baroda Watongola, Honorable Nebanda Florence. We have the district woman MP Kaliro, Honorable Namukuta Brenda. And now I go to the ministry team here. Mrs. Rosetti Biengoma, the PS, Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs. And of course, since our brother also comes from our family, Major General retired Kasula Chomukama. The Undersecretaries, please stand up for recognition. Mrs. Mutulu and my brother Mutabazi. Let me use this opportunity, Right Honorable, to sincerely thank Right Honorable Kintu Musoke for having accepted to come and give a keynote address. Some of us have read the book written by Chirunda, late Chirunda Chivejinja, our celebrated hero. But also, I think since you have been there all the time, I think we need to again have another book from Kintu Musoke, Right Honorable. We really, you started with, some of us who know where you started from, coming from Kalungu, and then you reach those levels, and you're in the compounds of Nehru, the former Prime Minister of India. Is not very easy. So we love you, Right Honorable, and we pray to God that you keep strong, and you have fun, the whole hours too strong there. So chamala ko mukama wange, mukama akutereka omukisa. Kakati abasubuzi, we have had the corporate group. Corporate group we wano banka bachabo tubera nabo muyimireko ya mwana wange jeno jangu mujja kunyambako. Corporate group, please stand up. Prime Minister ono tukayo namanya nti corporate katusoke nabana ab'ebitongole ebyo banka badebitya. Do you have the list? We are going to introduce them. But before that comes, let me introduce those ones I know very well. Abasubuzi, we had invited the Kwagalana group. Do we have somebody from Kwagalana? If my people did their work, we had
hosting the NAM and the G77 plus China conferences. These were global conferences, and I want to assure you it wouldn't have been possible if we did not have the UPDF behind us. So I want to thank you. It's a vote of no confidence in our country. I mean, it's a vote of confidence in our country when you see many heads of states coming to our country at the same goal. We had over 24 heads of states who joined us in those two conferences. It's a vote of confidence, a global force, a global vote of confidence. Today marks the beginning of the busy week of activities to be carried out by UPDF. This busy week, which is known as TAREHE SITA and Defense Forces Week, will be observed in the districts of Bugiri, Bugweri, Buyende Iganga, Jinja Kaliro, Kamuliruka, Mayuge, Namayingo, Namutumba, and Jinja City, as already mentioned. It will be marked under the theme celebrating the people's struggle for unity, security, and peace for socio-economic transformation. Today, I stand before you to express my solidarity with you, the UPDF, who have faithfully and resolutely defended our sovereignty. You have paid the ultimate sacrifice of defending human security and consolidating our revolutionary gains. You have been loyal, strategic, partners since the years of FRONESA in the 1970s and NRA in 1980s. It is pleasing to note that UPDF has not forgotten the support it received from the population that made it possible for a small guerrilla force transform itself into a formidable liberation force. The achievements this liberation force has registered clearly demonstrate the struggle was not in vain. Let us therefore remember the darker days of this country when there seemed to be no hope, as Uganda was seen as the most failed state characterized by unspeakable human rights abuses ranging from rape, looting, and mass murder. This situation caused massive dislocations and poverty, which are now history. UPDF is a non-partisan force, national in character, patriotic, professional, disciplined, productive, and subordinate to the civilian authority as established by the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. As we recognize, ladies and gentlemen, as we recognize the functions for which UPDF was founded, with the following mandate. 1. Preserving and defending the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Uganda. Cooperating with the civilian authority in situations of emergency and natural disasters. Number 3, fostering harmony and understanding between the defense forces and civilians. Number 4, engaging in productive activities for the development of Uganda. The participation of UPDF in the national development projects is in line with its constitutional mandate. The ongoing participation of UPDF Engineering Brigade in the building of infrastructure projects for ministries, departments, and agencies shows the long strides the force has taken in the direction of being a productive force. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to commend the UPDF for remaining steadfast in maintaining this character. Please join me in. It is pleasing to know that this pro-people principle has enabled the UPDF to also become a regional stabilizing force or factor. To this effect, we wish to pay special gratitude to the revolutionaries and our strategic partners, as well as the civilian population, for the great contribution you have made during the years of the protracted struggle. Allow me, on behalf of government, to thank His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, the members of the UPDF family, and the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs for having chosen to reflect to cement the relationship between UPDF, the NRM government, and the people. I've also been informed that an ideological orientation seminar has been organized for men, women, and youth leaders to share experiences and discuss pertinent issues affecting the well-being of our people in Busoga sub-region. Choosing to include ideological orientation interactions between UPDF and members of the fishing community in the TAREHE SITA program is a wonderful idea that will further enhance harmony between the two. I want to also inform you, when you talked about this, I felt like I needed also to join you in this. I promise to spare a day to be with you so that together we can do this noble function. Ladies and gentlemen, and all Ugandans out there, we have been keenly following the UPDF commitment towards peace and stability. It is because of this stability that the people can now travel from Koboko to Kotido, from Busia to Kisoro, from Kampala to Kakumiro. To do their own businesses in a day without any disruptions. As His Excellency, the President, has noted, this is the first time in the 500 years this has become possible. It is also the first time that Ugandans have an armed force that opposes the spirit of parasitism, but is progressively productive. The UPDF has therefore received praise from even the members of the opposition because of its great work, like construction of Entebbe International Airport. You, the members of the UPDF, have been the frontline warriors who have assisted in the management of natural disasters and pandemics like COVID-19. I remember how you people helped us to fight the locusts when it invaded our country. Thank you so much. The locust commander is around. Let him be given a big applause. And the Prime Minister at a later time will see how to do the handshake. Not only has UPDF made Uganda a transformed society, but it is also contributing to the regional stability, like many other people have said. There is evidence of transformation and social recovery in the country, and we are proud of your contribution to these efforts, especially the Office of the Prime Minister. Today is your day. Allow me, therefore, to extend my most sincere appreciation to you once again, the officers and the militants of UPDF, and to congratulate you upon these achievements and for exhibiting humility in your leadership in a sometimes stressful situations. I wish UPDF a great week of success. When we go to Bugweri for the climax of that week of activities on 6 February 2024. We will be celebrating the completion of your civil military cooperation projects. With these words, I launch the 2024 TAREHE SITA activities and the Defense Forces Week. I wish you a happy 43rd anniversary celebrations for God and my country.